Music's suddenly very loud. I like it though, it's nice. I think I should lower my voice and go with like a calmer thing. I was going with athletics, let's go, and then the music's a little slow here. Well, it's a great week to be here at Regis, and welcome back everyone, and welcome to new friends who have never been here before. Yesterday was actually Founders Day at Regis, where more than 900 of our students, faculty, and staff went out and did community service in honor of our founders, the Sisters of St. Joseph. And as I came here tonight, what stays with me is a post one of our faculty members, a new member of our community, posted onto Twitter yesterday. And he wrote that he's worked at many institutions. He, of course, attended institutions because folks who are faculty have at least 3 degrees. And he said never has he been at a place that shuts down for the day for the sole purpose of serving the community. And I just thought that was so great. He said he was so proud to be a part of the Pride. And I hope you are too. It's a special place, and service is at the core of what we do, and our athletes are no exception for that, and I know you're going to hear more about that in a little bit. So it's a great week all around, and of course, especially because of what we're doing here tonight, honoring the best of the best, our 2019 Hall of Fame inductees. So you'll hear about them in a little bit. But I'd like to give a little shout out to our current Hall of Fame members who have come back to be with you tonight. They include Trustee Joanne Crowley, class of '74. Marianne Sanderson Shea, class of '54. Johnson and Susan Lynch-Nee, both members of the 1995-96 softball team. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Kara Kolometz, newly elevated to the role of Chief Operating Officer and Senior Vice President of Student Affairs and Enrollment, where she continues to oversee Regis's hugely successful athletic program, among her many other responsibilities. Kara, please.
Thank you, Kelly. What a privilege it is for me to be here tonight with all of you celebrating the legacy of Regis College athletics, and specifically celebrating our 6 inductees and the piece of the legacy that you have contributed to. The foundation of Regis is built on the values of the Sisters of St. Joseph of Boston: love of the dear neighbor, excellence tempered by gentleness, and welcoming all without distinction. It's within this history and these tenets that generations of Regis athletes have thrived. And with us this evening are sisters who, in their own right, have been pivotal to the success of the athletic program. And it's because of their success our program has grown and excelled. Sister Marian Bathau, a Regis graduate, the former president of Aquinas College, serves on the Regis College Board of Trustees and has served as the treasurer of the congregation of the sisters and is currently the first general counselor of the congregation. Sister Betty Colley, who couldn't come. Please tell her about it because she rooted on countless Regis College athletic teams.
Absolutely.
And Sister Lee Hogan. President of the Congregation of the Sisters of St. Joseph. Sister Lee exemplifies leadership and service to Regis. She has devoted many years to Regis as a student, alumna, educator, and administrator. Sister Lee has served in multiple roles on the Regis College Board of Trustees, and she's currently a member of the corporation of the college. Thank you, sisters. embark on the weekend of Regis Fest, we could think of no finer way to begin the festivities than with our induction of the newest members of the Hall of Fame. It's because of your service to Regis, your embodiment of the values of the Sisters of St. Joseph, on and off the court, the track, the field, or in the pool, that our legacy is so rich. You made this program, and because of you, we are a premier Division III program. We have championship banners, school, conference, and national team and personal records. We now have 20 varsity teams, all with full-time head coaches and graduate assistant coaches, a newly opened athletic weight room, and exceptional displays of sportsmanship. But at the core of the program that you built are young minds and hearts preparing to go into the world and truly do good things. And that's because of the structure we have at Regis. At Regis, we don't have a director of athletics. We have a dean of athletics. And that's because our coaches are educators and our athletes are scholars. Being a scholar athlete shows that Regis is committed to developing the whole person and using their athletic experience to cultivate and explore all of life's possibilities. This is best represented this semester by our men's tennis team, the majority of which are studying abroad in Milan. I know you're jealous. And to the inductees, be proud of the legacy that you created. This is the legacy. 96% of our athletes graduate in 4 years. 100% of our athletes participate in community service. Just yesterday, during Founders Day, in this room, the men's lacrosse team hosted a Red Cross blood drive. Our athletes' average GPA is a 3.3. 38 championships have been won since 2007, including the most recent 2019. We're going to boast that we are the women's outdoor track champions. And last year at graduation, 11 of our seniors graduated with program records. That's an applause line. And on a personal note, I have seen this program expand and excel, and there is no greater pride that President Hayes and I have than watching our athletes represent all of you in their crimson and their gold out there doing their best. I love watching the end of a volleyball game where we have the men's and women's teams supporting one another depending on who's in which season. And at the end of the game, not only do they high-five the opposing team, but the team not in season rushes the court and high-fives the other team. You made that legacy so rich, and we are so grateful that you did. Tomorrow we're hosting 7 home athletic competitions as a part of Regis Fest, where our scholar athletes will continue your legacy. We would just love to have you join us. We're deeply grateful for the commitment that everyone in this room has made to Regis and to our athletics program. Now, I'm truly honored to introduce a member of our Athletic Hall of Fame, a current board member, to deliver the invocation, Joanne Crowley.
And I was so honored to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. It was very small ceremony, beautiful, down in the Fine Arts Center. And I had the great privilege to have my mom there, whose name is Mary. So if you'll indulge me just a little bit, the prayer this evening is dedicated to Hail Mary. Let us pray. Hail Mary, full of grace, as we gather here together to celebrate and recognize the truly amazing accomplishments of you, the athletes, and the leaders of our college. We ask that you bless our dear alma mater and all who have passed through her halls, played on her fields and courts, and share in her wisdom. We ask that you bless our alumni, family, friends here this evening, and especially those who could not join us. We ask that you bless our scholar athletes of today, that they may excel while they enjoy and experience the magic of athletic competition. We ask that you bless our fans, our coaches, and our staff, who truly are the pride of Regis. We ask that you bless this meal, Holy Mary, Mother of God, in your name. Amen.
Thank you so much, Joanne. Our friends at Aramark will now assist you table by table to enjoy our buffet. Please enjoy your meal. We'll be back shortly with our program. Enjoy, everybody. All right, now it's time for the main event. The main event. I only have one beat, I swear to God. It's time now to induct our 6 new members of the Regis Hall of Fame. This is our largest class ever, and big news, it includes for the first time 2 men. Many of you know this is all female until 2007, so this is a big deal. It's now my pleasure to introduce our Associate Athletic Director, Mark Clemente, who has our first inductee.
Thank you, Kelly, for the introduction. Super excited to congratulate these inductees today. I've been really lucky that in my 17-year career, I've been able to experience some of the athletic performances that we're celebrating today. And this evening, I have the distinct honor of presenting my nominee and former Regis College president of 18 years, Sister Thérèse Higgins, class of 1947. Over the past few weeks, I've had the pleasure of researching, interviewing, and discovering so much about this incredible woman. Not because I needed material. In fact, I should have stopped while I was ahead. Now I'm completely overwhelmed by what I've learned and all the contributions she's made to this college, and there's no way I can do this any justice in the few minutes that I have to present. But nevertheless, here it goes. She was affectionately known to all of her family and friends as Tink. Some of the family in the room, some of which never called her by any other name, could not tell me its significance. It seems, after further investigation, that Tink was short for Tinkerbell, and described her small stature. She was about 5'1", and her mischievous nature. Sister Thérèse Higgins is most notably credited as the inspiration and leader in the construction of the current athletic facility that exists on campus. Tink served in the English department faculty before beginning her tenure as president of the college from 1974 through 1992. Much like her love of Renaissance literature, she also adored and was a lover of the arts. Thérèse also found inspiration in the concept of a healthy mind, a healthy body, a concept currently etched in Latin in the wall at the entrance of our facility. In fact, I have learned that this was a lived practice for her, that she often took up tennis, including match play as an undergraduate student in the mid-1940s. Over the course of her presidency at Regis, she was sometimes spotted outside on the tennis courts, wearing her bright white, perfectly pleated tennis skirt, and dressed completely to the part, where she would often find solace and inspiration in hitting buckets of tennis balls. Beyond her interest in tennis, Sister Thérèse was a visionary leader and understood the importance of current trends and continuous progress on our campus. She was inspired by the growing interest of high school and youth sports participation by young girls. She hoped to build upon the foundation that existed at Regis thanks to tireless efforts of Olive Nolan and Edwina Hughes, longtime coaches and physical education instructors on campus, both of which have also been inducted into our Hall of Fame. So very appropriately, Thérèse set her sights on the fundraising and the construction of the current athletic facility. Sister Thérèse leaned on a local basketball icon and Boston Celtics Hall of Famer Dave Cowens at the time. Once she learned of his retirement, Tink courted Cowens to assist and supervise the construction of our facility, in addition to serving as the department's first director of athletics. Cowens had already held his camp at Regis dating back to 1972, and the two of them were very close. In fact, Dave's wife, Debbie, was very much in contact with Thérèse up until her passing in 2010. Despite her diminutive size, Thérèse was very bold. Dave recently described to me the work Thérèse put in on the facility project, which officially opened on April 20th, 1982. Dave described her extensive fundraising savvy and her appreciation for the detail of the project. He told me a story about the day the contractors arrived with multiple flatbed trucks carrying the slightly wrong tinted brick. It was this small yet mighty Thérèse who ran down the hill, met with the foreman, and asked him very politely to please leave campus and return with the right colored material. The day the building was dedicated was among her proudest moments, and she was quoted, quote, "Thousands of people will have a piece of this rock, and a beautiful rock it is," end of quote. I had the pleasure of knowing Tink over the course of her final years at Regis. My memories of her were often working out in the fitness center. She would seek out our former head athletic trainer and assistant director of athletics, Devin Cashman, who is here today, spent many days with her, and she would ask him to assist her with the functionality of the rowing machine. Devin recalls that Tink's concern was always for the care of our student athletes, whom she would inquire about frequently with us, despite her retirement. Each year, we open our fall sports season by addressing our student athletes in compliance training, where we also take the opportunity to discuss expectations. As part of this discussion, I remind each of them that this opportunity to compete wearing those 5 letters across their chest and represent Regis is a privilege. I always find the opportunity to remind them that the athletic program that exists here is the result of tireless efforts and dedication by many that came before them. I remind them that it has taken decades of blood, sweat, and tears by student athletes, coaches, teachers, and administrators to build this competitive program to where we are today. I complete my message to them with an appeal that they value the importance of the legacy that they leave over the course of their career competing as a member of the Pride. And so, I find it very fitting this evening that I am able to celebrate and enshrine perhaps the greatest legacy left on the modern Regis College athletics tradition. The legacy that made all of the opportunities for our current student athletes exist. And that is the legacy of Sister Thérèse Higgins, for which I am deeply honored to induct today, posthumously, to the Regis College Athletics Hall of Fame class of 2019. At this time, to accept the award, I am honored to bring up members of Tink's family. I welcome to the podium Sister Thérèse's nephews, John and Peter Higgins, alongside her niece, Joanne Burke.
Good. Very good. Hold that up.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. This is really a true honor for our family to be here tonight to receive this award on behalf of Tink. And we're so pleased that you were able to figure out where the origin of the name came from. I just want to say, I think when she built the athletic center, it was really part of a much broader strategic vision that she had, which was to put Regis on the map as a place where women can come and receive a holistic or whole-of-person education that cultivated their intellectual, their spiritual, their emotional, and their physical development. I think were she to be present with us tonight, one is she would be extremely chuffed at receiving this award and very grateful for it. But she would also just be so pleased to see how athletics has become such an important part of Regis's program, and the participation of men and the broadening out of the way that athletics now is just part of the fabric of the college, and it would mean so much to her. I like to think that it's her legacy in action. Thank you very much. Thing I wanted to say, and that is to thank Mark Coleman for identifying and putting Tink's name forward to receive this honor and to have this court dedicated to her, the basketball and volleyball court, which would mean so much to her. This is, and for all the work that you've done to put this together, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you all so much for being here, and congratulations.
Nice job.
Now please welcome Nikki Gerard, class of 77, to the podium for our next inductee.
Good evening. My name is Nikki Gerard, class of 77, and I have the distinct honor of introducing Jan Rutkowski. I played basketball and softball with Jan at Regis, spent a number of years after college playing club soccer and rugby. Jan was the consummate team player, always cheering everyone on, motivating us during tough times, and also taking on leadership roles, directing us where we needed to be and what we needed to do. But Jan was also a great individual contributor. She scored over 650 points during her college basketball career and struck fear into the hearts of many when she made her move to the basketball booth. So if you know Jan, you know that look in her eyes. I just recommend you get out of her way. When Jan first came to Regis and tried out for the basketball team as a freshman, she was pretty impressive, becoming the first freshman to make the varsity team. I can see Miss Nolan now, our coach at the time, looking on at tryouts with her wry smile thinking, this kid could put us on the map. But I'm sure she was jumping up and down inside her head. And Jan did put us on the map. We won more games than we lost and actually made the state tournament, the NAIA Division III. I also credit Jan with personally catalyzing the change from our pleated jumpers into real basketball. Everyone take us very seriously. So after college, we played soccer and then rugby together. Eventually, with a lot of training and a lot of hard work, the rugby team, Beantown, became a 6-time national champion team with Jan's leadership as an MVP player, captain, and then coach. The team stayed at the top for many years as she was key to their long-term success. After 20 years, you might even call her the grandmother of Beantown Rugby. Of course, in my short time, I can't possibly touch on all the great achievements, awards, and accolades in Jan's long and inspired athletic career. I can only scratch the surface. But all that know her can attest, she's driven, determined, talented, and very deserving of this honor. So with that overview into her formidable sports career, I introduce my teammate and friend, Jan Rutkowski, Regis College Hall of Famer.
Thank you, Nikki. I'm so happy that you said yes when I asked you to do this. And I promise all of you I'm not as old as playing basketball in a tunic might make. Okay. I want to thank Joanne Crowley for nominating me. Joanne and I played basketball for 1 year together at Regis, and we also lived in the same floor in our dorm. I think there were a lot of pranks that we did. And I also want to thank those who deemed me worthy of this honor. Let's see. Thank you to all that came to support me tonight. Those of you who know me probably know that I like to keep the various people in my life separate. And apparently that's changed tonight. I have family, I have friends, I have classmates, I have co-workers who are in the room, and my IT department over here in the corner. I'll be okay, it's all right. Take a deep breath, it'll be all right. After all, they're all here for me. I want to acknowledge my parents, who instilled in me from an early age the importance and value of hard work, responsibility, ability, showing up where you're supposed to show up, when you're supposed to show up, and following through on your commitments. These are all qualities that have served me well in life and in athletics. Of course, and hopefully they've helped me be a good teammate as well. What I will say about responsibility, it can sometimes be a curse. If you have ever been the most responsible person in the room, I would like to give a special acknowledgement for my mother. My mother passed away when I was 14, and from that point on, it was her raising 6 children. So there's a lot for which to thank her. One important decision and a great impact to me was this. I had just finished my first season of high school sports, and in the aftermath and all that she was dealing with, she decided that I and my older sister could continue participating in high school athletics. It could have gone another way, and it didn't. And if it had, I would likely not be standing here right now. So I think that decision right there, when I thought back about this honor and how I got here, that was key. That was key. I could have not proceeded in sports like I did. And sports have been my life, so it was a really key thing, and I thank her for that. My mother passed away a little less than 2 years ago, and if she was around, she would have told everyone that she knows. Everyone. And she would probably stop people on the street and tell strangers on the street who know about this as well. So in her stead, I invited Mom's longtime and dear friend Claire. Regis back in the day, and I think she could tell you some stories, but nothing too damning, I hope. And by the way, her granddaughter attended Regis and played soccer here. I loved my time at Regis. I had a great experience academically, socially, and athletically. I was a student athlete here when Title IX went into effect, and we went from pleated tunics, and she forgot this part, short-sleeved Peter Pan colored white blouses, to uniforms more appropriate for playing sports. We were frequently up against teams that were starting to reap the benefits of Title IX, and it was a challenge, but we fought as best we could, and we won more than we lost. At least that's what I'm saying, because there are no records, I can say what I want. So, I repeat this, I'm not as old as all of that, just maybe Okay, so when I left Regis, I desperately wanted to continue playing team sports. It was not as easy as you would think. In those days, it wasn't that easy as a woman to find a place to continue playing sports. I eventually found a basketball league and joined a team. There I met some people who tried to recruit me to play rugby. At that time, I thought they were nuts. At that point, my only exposure to the game was the opening sequence of The Wide World of Sports, where you would see an entire team trying to destroy one poor guy with a ball. Despite that, I gave it a try anyway. I ended up involved in rugby as a player and a coach for a long time, with many opportunities and successes along the way. And I know this is about my time at Regis, but I feel like my early experiences in high school and here at Regis fanned my competitive flame and instilled in me a love for sports that I still have today, even though I cannot do any of it at the high level to which I was accustomed. And I remain extremely competitive. A few months ago, before I knew any of this was about to happen, I ran into Pam in the hall, and she asked me a question that went something like this. So, were you the big star athlete here after Joanne Crowley? And my reply was something like this. Well, I never thought of it that way. I thought of myself as another player on the team. I believe that everyone is important to a team. From the most talented to the least talented, the biggest to the smallest, the fastest to the slowest. And however, the more removed from my glory days that I get, the more willing I was to tell people about my athletic accomplishments. And as time has continued to pass, it started to sound a little bit more like bragging. So in that regard, I might be turning into my mother. So circling back to Pam's question, was I the big star athlete? Well, it's not for me to say, but by honoring me in this way tonight, well, maybe I'll let that answer for me. So thanks again. I'm really grateful for this honor, and congratulations to the inductees.
We love you, Jen. Congratulations. You have a lot of people in your corner, as you should. Next up is Paul Leahy, athletic support staff. Introduce our next honoree.
Thank you, Kelly. As a new member of the Regis College staff way back in the late fall of 1995, I thought I'd get into the athletic culture of the school by taking in a basketball game. I had been told we had a good squad that was coming off a championship season in the Commonwealth Coast Conference, and that many of the better players were returning. That information was correct. We could score, we could rebound, we could pass, we could play defense. I asked a student about several of the standout players. Then I said, "Who's that little kid running all over the court?" The response I got was, "Oh, that's Sam." Samantha Sam Dutily, quite simply, is one of the best all-around athletes ever to wear the crimson and gold of Regis College. As you can see from tonight's program, Sam's high-energy influence was felt universally on the field, basketball court, softball, diamond. On the basketball court, she was the offensive spark plug and a fierce defensive competitor. Excuse me. If the team needed 4, 5, or 6 quick points, Sam either scored them or got the assist. On defense, she took it personally if anyone got past her on the drive, something that rarely happened. If they did get free, it was usually without the ball, after Sam picked their pocket. It's been more than 20 years since Sam played for Regis, and she still holds the career record for steals. Sam was a team leader and point guard in 3 CCC championship squads, and is a member of the 1,000 Point Club. If possible, Sam was even more active in field hockey, maybe because there was a lot more room to run, as she led Regis to postseason competition and championships, and won MVP honors. On the softball field, Sam ran and ran. At shortstop, she ran down plenty of hard-hit grounders and line drives. At the plate, she hit for average and power and did enough running to still be the all-time leader in runs scored. Her all-around play was recognized by the CCC coaches when she was named MVP of the league twice and led Regis to its only league title in softball. Sam credits her time at Regis and her experiences playing 3 sports for allowing her to strengthen her leadership qualities. Those qualities became evident as she co-captained basketball, softball, and field hockey teams. Those same leadership qualities obviously have been recognized by the United States. Now, instead of, "Oh, that's Sam," it's Commander Samantha Dutily. Welcome as a member of the Regis College Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, this is pretty heavy. Been working out. Hey, Paul, thank you. I am absolutely humbled by your words and grateful that you took the time out tonight to share this evening with me, my family, my classmates, and past and present athletes. Thank you, Hall of Fame Committee, for selecting me this year along with Ryan, Steven, Caitlin, Jan, and Sister Thérèse. I'm honored to be recognized by the same class as these amazing athletes. I need to start off by thanking my coaches, Donna Tanner, Joanne Ruane, and Jean Smith, for recruiting me in high school to play basketball and softball here at Regis. I also need to thank my fellow Hall of Famer, Laura Galligan, for chasing me down that day that I was rollerblading on campus with my street hockey stick, and said, hey, why don't you come play field hockey? What the heck is field hockey? It was a sport I'd never seen until I suited up and played my first game at Regis. She gave me my first field hockey stick. Again, it was backwards because I was used to playing the other way. And she said, run. She was a senior, I was a freshman, so I ran. And I just kept running. And I ran and ran like Forrest Gump, and it turned out I was pretty good. Even though half that first year I played, I had no idea what was going on and what those whistles meant. But I had a great time. Although Paul brought up a lot of stats during my playing time at Regis, what I'm most proud of is our winning records. What pushed me and motivated me to give 110% every practice and game was I wanted Regis to be that school that teams dreaded to play because we were that good. That loud field or gym that they hated to visit because it was so packed and so loud by our fans. I wanted them to say, wow, they have a great field hockey team, basketball team, or softball team. Winning our first invitational tournament in field hockey, the Commonwealth Coast Conference and ECAC championships in softball, and 3-time Commonwealth Coast Conference championships in basketball, along with that very first NCAA tournament appearance. That's what I remember most about being here at Regis, putting Regis on the map. But Regis not only made me a better scholar and athlete, Regis taught me confidence, teamwork, and leadership. I have a successful career as a naval officer, and it's due to the foundation that Regis created. I was recently the captain of a guided missile destroyer with a crew of 320 sailors. Now I'm the deputy commodore of 14 ships in a squadron in the Kingdom of Bahrain, out in the Middle East. And it all started with being here at Regis. The responsibility I gained as captain of those sports, I use that every day in my almost 20 years in the Navy. Actually, 2 weeks from today will be 20 years. A few more people I'd like to thank for their continued support throughout my career and my time here at Regis. First off, to the blog. Ellen, Sue, Ann, Audra, and Laurie, and a few others that couldn't make it tonight. We met here at Regis 26 years ago, and we still maintain a great friendship. You all attended my games, practices, some of you even played on the field with me. And here you are today still supporting me. I love you, girls. Thank you. To my best friend and shipmate, Lisa, who has been alongside me for over half my naval career. Thank you for coming all up this way from Virginia to share this evening with me. Lisa played Division I basketball at the Naval Academy, and we got the opportunity to play pickup game together during one of our training events. We were the only two girls we had to play against one another. And even though we made a pact that when we get tired, we would take it easy on one another, I made sure that she knew what a Regis girl could do. To my sisters Sabrina and Anna Mae, thank you for your support and your love. Sorry you had to be known as Sam's sister. And that if you're Sam's sister, you must know how to play basketball. But I love you so both very much, and I'm proud to be your sister. To my niece Izzy, my nephew Donnie, my grandparents Bud and Marilyn, thank you for being here tonight and always for your continued support. To my mom Anita and my dad Don, thank you for supporting me through college. I know you worked your butt off every day and even some night shifts and weekends to attend my games, come in and cheer me on. I'm so grateful for all the times that you visited me here. Even though every time you showed up, you always found that wrong exit and always set off the emergency exit. Every single time. And finally, to my husband Tim, for the past 7.5 years has been by my side and so very supportive of my career.
in my athletic events. So I'm coming to all my flag football games, my softball games, my ice hockey games, even retiring from the Navy in 28 years so you can follow my career. I can't thank you enough, and I'm so appreciative of what you do for me every day. I love you. Thank you again, Hall of Fame Committee, for selecting me to this prestigious group of women, and now men. And thank you all for celebrating this evening with me. Go Beacons, go Pride.
Sam, thank you for your service to Regis and more importantly, your service to our country along with your husband. Let's now welcome Heather Gilmore, former head field hockey coach, to introduce our next inductee.
Thank you, and good evening. I was contacted by Kate a few weeks ago to come and introduce her tonight, and I had to really sit down and think, Kate Connolly. What comes to mind when I think of Kate Connolly? There's definitely a few words, not so choice, a few words that come to mind. But the first thing that comes to my mind was the word fierce. Kate was, and probably if I were to see her out there tomorrow on the field, I would still say she is a fierce competitor. She was clearly the best athlete on the field hockey field, hands down. Her numerous accolades in the program can tell you she stood out from the moment she got on campus. As a matter of fact, my predecessor, Joanna DiCarlo, who's here tonight as well, had said to me on my first day, Kate Connolly's the best athlete here. She's the best you'll have, hands down. She is the backbone for this program. And it was true. What made Kate stand out was not just her athletic ability, but how incredibly hardworking and competitive she was. There was no one who I have ever known who has been more competitive than Kate Connolly. She was always pushing herself and others to be better. It was a pleasure to watch Kate develop as a leader in more than just her actions. She was a mentor and a coach on the field, and it was never a surprise to me in our meetings towards the end of her career as to where she was going to go professionally. There was no other place. Kate was destined to be a field hockey coach. However, you also didn't want to get in Kate's way. No matter who you were, or really what you were. The quintessential Kate Connolly could be summed up to me by her awards, certainly her records earned during her time, but when I think of Kate Connolly, the essence of her comes out on a very cold, very dark night game at Worcester State, when Kate took a high ball off of her hand. Now, if you're not familiar with field hockey, it's a very hard ball, and it's a very hard stick. And late at night in the cold, it happens to do awful things to the human body. I will never forget the expression on Kate's face and the expletives that shot out of her mouth. As she dropped her stick, looked down at her pinky that had literally exploded upon impact. She walked off the field cursing. She went over to the trainers, and they were literally shaking. They were so nervous and had never seen anything. They had actually witnessed in front of them. Kate was still remarkably calm, even as the trainers are shaking and trying to explain to her that she needed to go see a hand specialist to repair the damage that had been done to the pinky. And Kate was simply mad. She was mad at the high ball, she was mad at the injury, she was mad at the ref that didn't stop the game immediately, and she was mad mostly that she wasn't going to be able to finish that game. She was the heart and soul of that team. Immediately afterwards, the team said to me, Coach, we're going to the hospital, right? We got to go see Kate. We got to check on her. We got to be there. And we drove our 15-passenger vans over to check and make sure that she was okay. She pushed her teammates so hard every day. And if you knew Kate, you knew that that pushing wasn't always very gentle. But they loved her dearly. She was their leader, both on and off the field, and her passion for competition and the game of field hockey is still very apparent today, as she leads the field hockey program at LaSalle University. It is my great honor and privilege to have coached Kate Connolly, and even more so to present her here tonight for the induction into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Kate.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Coach. I'll get to you later. Mark, seriously, this picture, though, I gotta call you out on this. Find a better one. Mark was the SID when I still played. First, I want to congratulate all the other inductees tonight. I feel really honored and humbled that I have this opportunity and I'm nominated for this award. I definitely, in the middle of the field hockey season, and I have been procrastinating writing this speech, and trying to figure out how to articulate such an incredible honor that I've been given and how much of an impact that Regis has made on me. My journey to this moment started in 8th grade. My high school coach came to our junior high and said, "Why don't you try field hockey?" I went to the interest meeting and I figured, you know, my bicycle kick that went the wrong way in soccer, I was probably not destined to be a soccer player, so I should go out and try out for field hockey. That moment, that opportunity, that choice has led me to this moment, and also a 14-year career in collegiate coaching. I'm forever grateful for that moment for my high school coach. It was the first time we ever had a varsity program in high school, and it changed my life forever. Field hockey changed my life. I feel field hockey saved my life. It gave me something to hold on to, a purpose. It was a driving force for me to attend college. I wouldn't have taken the step to attend college without the push of my mom and my dad. I really didn't have a choice. I was one of those people that was like, yeah, I'm not going to go, I think I'll just work. And my mom said, no, you have to go to school. So here I was at Regis. But field hockey was that push. My mom and dad always pushed my brothers and I to do something. It didn't matter what, as long as we were doing something to keep ourselves busy. They wanted me to have the opportunity to get a great education and to provide for my future. So I apologize in advance that I became a D3 college coach. It's not very lucrative, and it's days, nights, and weekends. The coaches in this room know how hard that is, but it's a very rewarding experience. Although I only wanted to take a step to further my education because of field hockey, I learned here at Regis that I'm a whole person. An athlete, yes, but also more than that. A student, a friend, a sister, a person that can choose their own path and overcome obstacles. I learned that on the field battling with my teammates and in the classroom from the amazing professors pushing me to be my best. Sister Jacasey, Sister Grady, Dr. Morrison, there's an amazing woman that taught in our classrooms that really pushed us to be better. Field hockey is my passion. And being a collegiate athlete has been one of the greatest gifts of my life. We spend most of our times growing up in our hometowns or later in life in the cities that we settle in with our families. However, 4 short years have a lasting impact on our lives. The time we spend playing on the field, building trust and camaraderie have a lasting effect on me personally and professionally. There are so many memories on and off the field that I almost wanted to ad-lib this, but we probably shouldn't talk about those things here. I'm so thankful for my teammates. I certainly wasn't always the easiest player or teammate, so I'm very thankful for my amazing teammates and coaches that have supported me in my playing career. Judy's here tonight. A couple of my friends called me. I definitely wasn't easy to be around, but I really wanted to win, and I'm thankful for them for still loving me today because of that. Coach DiCarlo is here tonight, and Coach Gilmore. You guys have had such a huge impact on my life. I was recruited by Coach DiCarlo, and I did spend some time being mad at you after you left me here. I wasn't really sure that I wanted to be here at Regis after you left. I got really mad. And I actually slightly blame you for the pinky explosion since you were at that game that night, and you tried to talk to me, and I didn't want to talk to you. you were really tough on me, especially that time that you, I asked for a sub and you told me I wasn't allowed to ask for a sub anymore. That forever is in my mind. You made me a better player. I still use some of the things that you taught me my freshman year today in my coaching. I'll never forgive you for making me play softball that one year. Did my best. But you've had a real big impact on my life. Coach Gilmore, you were patient with a hot-headed athlete, and I'm forever grateful for you believing in us in our quest to win a conference championship. Although we didn't accomplish this goal, your coaching has made an impact on my life. I can also never express enough gratitude for you to encourage me to become a coach and connecting me with Bryant University. I wouldn't have the career I have today without you. I have a coaching career because of your encouragement. I also can't leave this room without thanking Devin and Mark who are here, especially Devin. I played 2 sports. I obviously talking a lot about field hockey and basketball. Basketball is a different story. I love my teammates, but I played for 3 different coaches when I was here. It was a challenging obstacle, but Devin kept me on the field through sprained ankle, pinky. You made a cast, so I didn't have to sit for my pinky. I still could hold the stick. My back injury. You never kept me off the field. 2 black eyes. You always have to find a way to get me back out there. I can't appreciate it. I appreciate you so much for that. I've been a collegiate coach for the past 14 years, 12 of them as a head coach. This profession has given me the opportunity to mentor hardworking young women. Just as athletes need support, encouragement, and a village to grow, so do coaches. I am forever thankful to my parents, my husband, kids, in-laws, and family for being my village so I can do what I love and continue to be involved with collegiate athletics. I have a huge group here. I can't be a college coach without them. It's days, nights, and weekends, and without their love and support, I wouldn't be able to do this job. My mom and dad were at every game, and now they take care of my kids so that I can go coach. So lastly, I'd like to thank the Regis administration for investing in athletics. We felt like we were kind of on the back burner when I was here. I kind of call it the dark ages, even though it wasn't the dark ages. And it's amazing as an alum to see the investment because athletics matters. Athletics plays an important role in young people's lives. So thank you to the coaches in the room. What you do matters. Many will not understand the sacrifice that you're making, the days, nights, and weekends, and everything in between. However, you're making a meaningful, lifelong impact on the men and women that you coach. I wouldn't be standing here without the love and support of my family and the impact of my coaches at the high school and collegiate level. What you do matters. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for whoever nominated for me.
Jan, I don't know, Jan, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, but if you need enough rugby players, let's get set. Clearly a badass, I think she has a great All right, everybody, please give it up for James Sweeney, our head men's and women's swimming and diving coach, and our aquatics director to introduce our next inductee.
And go Pride, of course. First, it's an incredible celebration, so congratulations to all of our new Hall of Famers. It's going to be awesome to see all those new plaques up on our Wall of Fame. It's a tremendous tradition, and congratulations. Stephen McGovern, a Regis Hall of Famer. That sounds awesome. Stephen, or Steve-O as he was called, was an amazing student athlete for Regis. I was his 3rd coach in 3 years, and he took on and supported my standards of excellence for the classroom and for the pool right away. Steve-O embraced a change, and I knew immediately that he was going to be the one to build around because I knew he was special. His leadership really helped bring both our men's and women's teams to the next level of competitiveness in all areas. Steve-O made an immediate positive impact on our swim teams. He became a great role model and mentor to all the swimmers from the first day of practice. He was always there to help his teammates. His contagious enthusiasm, along with his dedication and commitment to the team, was evident. Not only was Steve-O a proven leader, he was a tremendous athlete. In the pool, he was a tenacious competitor and worked extremely hard in all areas. Steve-O even worked his way through a jellyfish sting while on our train trip to Puerto Rico. He did not miss a practice. Good times. I won't say the whole story, but he did help lay our team's successful foundation that our program has today. Steve-O is one of those rare student athletes whom you wished as a coach that you had a team filled with. As his coach, I was very impressed by his incredible work ethic, his leadership skills, his hard work and dedication, his willingness to help others, how he motivates himself and others, and his integrity. It is for all of those reasons, along with his incredible stats, why I nominated him and why I am so proud that he will be our first male swimmer in the Hall. It was a privilege to coach Steve-O for his last 2 years, and I certainly wished I had him for 4 years. His family and supporters are here today, just like the support they showed through all those hours in the pool. As a Hall of Famer, he will be a tremendous representative and ambassador for our program, for our athletic department, and for our Regis community. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome and congratulate Hall of Famer, Stephen McGovern!
That thing is really heavy to serve. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the committee that ended up picking me. I'd like to thank my coach, the one who nominated me. Just so everybody knows, me and Coach have stayed in contact since we finished school. We text, we joke. Originally when he texted me, I thought he was just pulling my leg. Actually to nominate me. Little did I think I'd actually be standing up here. This is a huge honor. I came to Regis right at the time when he was still new to being a male. We were still figuring everything out. The swim team was just getting started. And it was an amazing opportunity to just be at the foundation of the program. Really kind of get it started and see where it's going to go. I would have never had that opportunity without the support of my coach, my friends, my family, my roommates, who probably hated morning practices as much as I did, because I not only woke them up when I got up, I woke them up when I got back. They were still sleeping.
I don't know what to talk.
One funny story I have that I just invited the coach up tonight, but I don't think you know, not a professional. I actually took a sabbatical from swimming for about a month during my sophomore year. I've been swimming since I was a small child. Mom had always pushed me to swim, told me it was the best thing to do. I took 1 year off, my grade slipped. I was never allowed to quit swimming again. So when I told her in college I was going to quit again, she was like, I'm spending how much money for you to go to school? And you don't want to swim? I don't think I approve of this. But the entire community here at Regis was so supportive. I really just wanted to, get out there and try some new extracurricular activities. Allowed me to join student government, allowed me to join Tower Society, and really foster some new skills that I didn't really have at the time, just being a swimmer. About 3 or 4 days before our first meet that year, I realized I still actually kind of want to swim. I think it'd be kind of nice to go back. So I go to Coach, and he goes, sure, you can come swim, that's fine with me. Day before the meet, I show up to practice, points to the empty lane and goes, do whatever you want, just be ready for tomorrow. That's all you have to do. By far, the best practice of my life. Nobody yelling at me, nobody telling me what to do. So go my first meet. I surprisingly won my race, which was awesome in fact to do, super great to do. But it was just so amazing to be somewhere that, through those skills that I was able to take that month hiatus, I was able to gain a bunch of skills. I was able to become captain, become a leader, and it really helped me grow as an individual. The community here at Regis is absolutely amazing. Seeing all the other inductees tonight, I completely understand now where we all started, where we're all going. And again, I'd just like to thank everybody, thank the nominees, and have a good night, everybody.
Neither of you said this, so I will we also thank Steve for his service to our community as a firefighter and a paramedic. And finally tonight, Nate Hager, our head men's basketball coach, is here with the final inductee for the 2019 Hall of Fame. Nate.
Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate it. The last time I did this, I was speaking for my father, and I had a big pad of notes. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to step up. I'm going to just do it on my phone. Ryan Chambers, I'm so proud to be talking about you again. Having your family here, your fiance, Amanda, sister Connolly, and your parents, Ed and Donna. You guys, you four probably saw just as many Regis basketball games as I did during Ryan's career. So thank you for the support. Ryan Chambers, class of 2014. It seems like yesterday. Literally, it seems like yesterday. It is Ryan, and I told him I wasn't going to roast him. I went and recruited Ryan down at Abington High School, and saw him, he was recommended by Stonehill, Coach Matt Levangie. He said, you gotta go look at this guy. And I did, and he fills it up, he shoots it. I was like, okay, all right, so I'm down there. Ryan did not hit a single shot. But the thing is, he took the right shots. He missed long or he missed short. He wasn't missing left or right. And I think we were right for him being the all-time leading scorer here. So he proved us right. I think it's appropriate that Ryan, along with Steve, is one of the first males to be inducted here in the co-ed era. He did everything with class. Whether it was on the court, his many accomplishments, or the 4.0 GPA semesters. Really build up that basketball team with GPA. So it's nice to have Phil Alabrandy, class of 2011, and Jalen Martin, class of 2017, the bookends of Ryan's career here. They can attest that Ryan had the flair for the dramatic. He always stepped up in the biggest events. He won 4 conference playoff games this year, the most of any Regis men's basketball player. During Jalen's freshman year, he hit a 40-footer to put it into overtime against Elms. They were the eventual champion. And then helped us get to our first and only Commonwealth Coast Conference playoff game and our only ECAC appearance. So the one game that does stand out about Ryan's career, though, is his freshman year at UNE. The year prior, we lost a heartbreaker. It was if we win, we get to the playoffs. Crazy play, full court, they throw it in, everyone dejected. So the following year, we're in the same exact situation up in Biddeford. And we hadn't played very well, but Ryan was playing well. We were up 2, called timeout, 14 seconds left, and I put Ryan on the best player, on the guy. And he is, UNE, they're passing around, and Ryan's guarding him, and the guy pulls up, shoots, and he makes it. I'm like, again, UNE. And then Ryan's like, well, no, I'm not done, coach. No timeout, nothing. Goes, and he's not a point guard, but gets the ball, dribbles up the left side, to the middle, chucks it from half court. And the whole time I'm like, this isn't happening yet, this isn't happening yet. And then, bam, off the backboard, goes in, we win, and make the playoffs for the first time ever. So Ryan, thank you. Put Regis men's basketball on the basketball map. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Ryan Chambers.
think mine's classic, because mine's a lot lighter than everyone else. Only joke, this is a tremendous honor. Congratulations to all together. Inductees, this is a like great experience, just being the first of like 2 inductees into the Hall of Fame. And obviously, I couldn't have like ever done this without the help of a ton of people. My parents, like first and foremost, they gave me every opportunity. They drove me to every practice, game. They were in the hot gyms in June, July, just watching the AU games. God bless them, that must have been an experience. My dad coached me from like 5th grade on up into high school, so he was a big advocate and like supporter and a big influencer in my basketball career. I also want to thank the like Regis athletic department and the administration for one, like even choosing me. Like as I got that call from like Pam and Nate, I was like, all right, am I gonna have to give like $100, $200 like? And I was like, Hall of Fame. I was like, I didn't even know that I was eligible. I didn't think I was that old, but I guess I'm hearing up from everyone else. So I really want to thank everyone. Coach Hager, he gave me the confidence from like day one. Even after high school, and like seeing the performance that I put on when he watched me. There were times when he would like play me so much that I would have to like beg for a sub, and that's what it's an opportunity that not many people had, and like I'm always grateful for that. All of my like teammates, like Phil and Jay Wan are here now. There were a lot of rebounds that were had after, all of my shots. So, I'm always glad that you were there to clean up those messes. And, just all of my coaches growing up, there was a ton of different leagues, a bunch of different teams that I was on. And, like it really took a village to raise me as a basketball player, and I will always be grateful. So thank you, everyone. This has been an awesome night, and thank you, Regis.
Ryan, I appreciate the segue. This is the money donation part of the program. Steve brought a boot like they do for MTA, and we're going to pass it around. Your presence is all that's required tonight. Congratulations. Let's hear it one more time. Grateful for, maybe some applause, because it's what's in my heart tonight after listening to you all. And one is for the moms and dads and the families who supported these athletes, and for the coaches who give, as we quite clearly heard from people, with nights and weekends to support their players. In the administration at Regis, President Hayes on down, everyone in athletics who worked so hard to put this together and to have such a fine athletic program. We thank you for being here, for being the pride of Regis, our inductees, for our families and friends for supporting this wonderful night and the accomplishments. And it's just for us here at Regis a powerful connection to have this bridge from the rich past to what's happening all day tomorrow, as you've heard, and we'd love to have you here on our athletic fields, in the gym, in the pool, and it's just wonderful to celebrate this all tonight. So you will see the plaques on the way out, so you can see what's going to go up on the wall tomorrow. So another incentive to come and see the names on the wall. So we look forward to welcoming you whenever you have a chance to come down to the Athletic Center and see it. And in the meantime, thank you again for supporting Regis. Thank you for being here, and have a wonderful night.